Hey guys, how are ya? I got a new microphone, so thank you for sticking with me through my previous videos. I know that the sound quality was very bad. Today I just want to talk about my top 5 favorite assault rifles within the game. Now this is just my opinion, so if your top 5 list is different than mine, try not to hold it against me. Now, number 5 on my list is the G36C. If you're new to the game or you just haven't explored the Ubisoft Club, I suggest you do that because you get this gun basically for free. It's going to cost you 40 Ubisoft Club points, which you do earn by playing this game or any Ubisoft game. And it's really solid. It's got the I can't speak today, and I do apologize for that. I have this new mic and I can't even take full advantage of it. It does have the 3rd highest handling stat within the assault rifle class, and the recoil is very manageable. It does have some drawbacks though. The range stat is a little low, it does suffer at some long ranges, and the single bullet damage is actually the 2nd lowest within the assault rifle class. I don't notice that too much when I'm playing with it. The range, yes, but the damage, it's a great performer, and it easily earns its spot in my top 5 list. It was actually the first weapon that I fell in love with when I started playing Wildlands, and to this day it's still my number 2 most used gun. Number 4 on my list is the R5 RGP. This gun is incredibly solid. It does have one huge drawback in my opinion, and that is the lack of selective fire. And no, I'm not just talking about lack of trigger group selection or anything like that. It's just full auto. There is no single fire or burst fire available on the gun. Now that makes it struggle a little bit at range. You could argue that you can single shot targets, even with the full auto, which works against unalerted enemies, but as you'll see in this clip, trying to utilize the gun at that range, it struggles a little bit, and trying to quickly tap the trigger, you do get some stuttering, and that's a major problem in my opinion. That's why it doesn't score any higher on my list. Number 3 on my list is the AK-12. Just look at that stability. Honestly, just set it and forget it with this gun. Put the reticle on target and pull the trigger while you wait for things to die. Sends a lot of bullets downrange very quickly, and it also has very high penetration, meaning that it will shred through thin cover and walls very effectively in very quick fashion. So if you already have this gun, you looked at it, thought maybe the stats weren't for you, it's just it looks kind of meh, or you don't have this gun already, I suggest you either give it a fair shot or you go and find it. Now this is number 2 on my list. This is the 805 Bren A2, and it's just a solid performer all the way through. No matter what situation you put it in, it's gonna be impressive. Slap a long barrel on there, grenade launcher, and your favorite sight. You have a rifle set for any situation. Really, I don't have any major complaints about it. The only reason it's not number 1 is just preference. I prefer my number 1 pick over this a majority of the time. That being said, this does see a fair amount of action from me, and if you haven't tried it, I suggest that you do, and I think it will rapidly become one of your favorites. Okay guys, this is my number 1 pick. I want to again mention that this is just my opinion, so if your favorite gun was on the list, don't hate me too much, or do. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. We'll have a nice colorful conversation about why the ACR wasn't on my list. This is the AUG A3, more properly known as the AUG. It's an acronym, but so is Scuba. We're just going to go with AUG. I think that's the more popular pronunciation, and it sounds better. It has the highest handling stat in its class, meaning you can build it as a sort of SMG for close quarters combat, but you can also build it for extreme ranges. I don't have any complaints about this gun. None. Zero. It's dominant at every range I've used it at, and I've used it up to 600 meters with an ACOG and a long barrel, and I've had great success with it. I run it instead of a sniper sometimes. I even run it in conjunction with a sniper sometimes, but at the end of the day, I always go back to the AUG. and I always remember why I love it so much. It just feels so good. It's almost effortless once you get used to it. And that's the reason it's number 1 on my list.
And baby makes 3. I've got eyes on the captain.
So that's my top 5. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. If it's similar to yours or completely different, I'd love to hear from you. Next time I'll talk about SMGs, and at some point in the near future I will talk about snipers, kind of the myths, the facts. I see a lot of false information out there. I will return to the ghost pack weapons at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy.